Okay, now you can do it.
Dear listener, this is my last summer as a kid. I just turned 17. I'm finally the age that every teenage girl and every song and every movie is. I finally get to be the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. I turned 17 on May 14th, a week and a half before school let out, so that's usually when my birthday falls, right before we get out of school. I know that the next year I'll already be an adult before summer starts. I'll probably look the same, act the same, I really won't be that much different, but in society's eyes, I'll be an adult. I'll be able to do all the stupid things kid me dreamed of doing once I turned 18. I guess I'll buy a lottery ticket, though I've always found them quite stupid. Any of the things I needed adult permission for, I'll be able to do on my own. No more bringing home permission slips for my parents to sign, though I doubt there'll be one in the last week of school. But I don't want to look to what'll be like when I'm 18. I mean, I just turned 17. I've almost got a whole year of being 17 left. Yet time passes by so quickly, and the quicker the older we get. Your first year of your life is 100% of the entire time you've existed, but by time you're 2, the year that has just passed, is only 50%. The year I'm entering now, the year that will complete my 18 years in this world, is only 5.55% of my life. Each year, though the same amount of time, seems to pass by quicker and quicker. Not because the years are physically getting shorter, but because our perspective of them gets shorter. Living 50% of our lives in 1 year is very different from living 5%. So, I want to make this next 5% of my life count. And even smaller, the next 0.46% of my life count. This next summer, that is. The next 2 months of my life, my last summer as a kid, is only 0.46% of my childhood. But no matter how fast it passes, it's still just 2 months. And I want to make the most of it. When I realized this was my last summer as legally a kid, a minor, something I'd leaned on for the past 17 years of my life, I didn't know how to feel. Most wise words talk about how we want to grow up as a kid, but once we get to our teenage years, we wish it would all just slow down. I never really wanted to grow up. When I was really young, maybe, but by the time I was 9 or 10, I remember playing games with my friends where we'd all pick an age to be. And instead of being grown up, I always wanted to be 13. Yet, once I got to be 13, the age didn't seem so magical anymore. By the time I was 13, we pretty much stopped playing those games. But before we did, I so vividly remember my friend asking me, "Will you always want to be 13? I felt so certain about my answer. "Yes," I said. I truly believed I would always want to be 13. I even imagined a life where I somehow got magically stuck at that age. Sometimes I still feel like I'm 13. Some people say it's because that's the age I was when the pandemic really affected me. I turned 13 pretty much 2 months into lockdown, but I'm kind of sick of dwelling on the pandemic and how every speech nowadays wants to mention it. I think that if I were to play that game again today, I would still be 13. Probably because little me glorified that age too much, but also because that was the last time I really felt like a kid. Because that was the last summer I lived without dreading the next age I would turn. While birthdays used to seem exciting, once I turned 13, they became scary. I remember a month before my 14th birthday, I realized I was about to be 14, and it terrified me. 13 was the age I always imagined myself as a kid, so what was I supposed to do once I was older than that? I remember crying in my room, promising myself I would stay 13 forever. I promised myself I'd always be remembered at 13, but here I am, still living. I've lived as someone older than 13 for 4 years, and I don't plan to stop now. But at 17 years old, I'm still dreading my next birthday when I turn 18. But I'm also excited for the future and everything it might bring, because I know I have to keep living for little me who wanted to be stuck at 13. When I look at the next 2.5 months ahead of me, I know that they'll go by quick, and I want to savor every moment. But a whole week has almost already gone by, and I feel like I've done nothing. What am I supposed to do with my last summer as a kid? Am I supposed to be a kid? Ride my bike, go swimming, jump on the trampoline? Am I supposed to prepare for when I'm an adult? Write college essays, do community service, look for a job? I'm torn between the world I'm leaving and the world I'm about to enter. The one I've always held dearly and the one I've always feared. I don't know how I'm going to spend my last summer as a kid, but I know that whatever I do has to include a bit of both. Looking to my future while still living like a kid. Because if I spend my entire summer worried about what I'm going to do with my last summer as a kid, it's going to pass before I even have time to make a decision. To all the other kids spending this summer being 17, we're still kids. And this is the last summer we get to be, so savor it. Live every day in the moment. And to those who still have a few kid summers ahead of them, don't take it for granted. Because sooner than you think, you'll be living your last summer as a kid too. And to those who lived their last summer as a kid a long, long time ago, don't be afraid to be a kid. Just because society treats us like adults doesn't mean we can't still have fun. I hope that no matter what phase of life you're in, this is the best summer you'll ever have. And that next summer will be even better. Keep living, keep thriving, keep being you. With much love, Carly Shaw.